Hey everybody, Christopher Harold here with workwithchrisharold.com, and today is April 30th, 2013, and this is a special vlog post for me today. It's my 10th one in the series that I've been doing, and this one here might be the one that challenges you the most. Because why? It's challenging me the most. And I'm hoping that by the end of this video, with the content I'm going to share with you, you'll be able to examine yourself. You'll be able to truly sit down in a quiet place and truly put a mirror to yourself and truly put to the test what I'm going to share with you today that you can take and change from this day forward. Because I believe the information I'm going to share with you is life-changing. I believe the information I'm going to share with you can change everything around you if you put it into action and if you are open to the information I'm going to share with you. Because why? It's open up me to be able to receive this as well. And before I get started, I'm just going to share something with you that happened to me today, which is A-OK. But I had a sales gig, as most of you know. I had a sales gig I started a few months back. I excelled in it. I did well in it. But that sales gig came to the end of the day. I lost that sales gig where they no longer needed my services. And it was pretty much a mutual thing, because for so long I'd never been satisfied working a job. You know, because I feel weird. I feel out of place. I feel that I cannot put my 100% effort into something to build somebody else's business up. And yes, we do jobs because we got to pay bills and we got to live and maintain life. But when I came across my business I'm doing now, when I'm working with Empower Network 7 months ago, the philosophies and the thinking and the training is contrary to the way the world system works, where they want everybody to have an employee mindset. And so it became very challenging for me to continue to do it, and it ended today. Well, pretty much they asked me to leave. And for the first time in my life, when I lost the job, it's not my first time. I've pretty much been far from every job I've had because of the same reasons. I can't fit in with the system. I've been an entrepreneur, striving entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since 1998. And I just have not been able to fit in with the job system. And for the first time though, today, with me losing that job, first time ever in my life, I don't feel bad. I don't feel depressed. I accept responsibility for it, and I'm happy because I vowed today, April 30, 2013, that Christopher Harold would never work a job again. Because that's how much I believe, that's how much I know what I'm doing with my Empower Network business. I know how many lives that I'm going to continue to affect and continue to change around this world, and I vow today that I would never again work a job, work for somebody else for the rest of my life. That's how much I believe in it. When I left that place today, I had that belief when I found out yesterday that this was coming. I had that belief deep down in my heart with so much conviction. I can look at you right now and tell you I would never again work a job. And now I want to share something with you. And information I'll just review some of my information in my personal development time. And information I'm going to share with you is something that I learned from Dr. Keith Johnson. Dr. Keith Johnson came and spoke at my church. I go to Grace Fellowship Church in Grand Prairie, Texas, a few months ago. He's a personal development wealth coach, you know, and he does a lot of different trainings at churches. He's a Christian entrepreneur, right up my alley. You know, I aspire to do what he does. And he shares something, and I'm going to share some concepts with you because it's possible that you never heard of this, and it's possible you're not familiar with who he is. And I was just reviewing this, and I said, you know what, I got to share this because if I feel this way, if I felt that way then, I'm sure there are thousands of other people right now who's watching this video that's feeling the same way. And so, first question I want to ask you guys, and I want you to be real, I want you to open up the information I'm about to give you because it's going to challenge you. But I got my notes too, but ask yourself this. Do you feel like you should be much further off in life than where you are right now? How many hands are going up? Do you feel like you should be much further off in life than where you are right now? When this question was posed to me, I couldn't help but to look back over my life and look back on so many things that I thought were going to pay off, so many opportunities that I thought were good for me. And And when I look back on my life, and I think back, I should be much further along than where I am today. Because I know the gifts and talents God has put in me. I know the desires God has put in me. But for some reason here in April 2013, I'm not as further along as I believe I should be. I believe I should already be a multimillionaire. And that's going to happen real shortly. I already know that. But I believe today, I should already be one. And I'm sure you raise your hand too. Because if not, you won't be watching this video. And so most of us should be a lot further off than where we are today. So you got to ask yourself, then why is it? Why am I not further off than what I believe I should be? What I believe in my heart, what I believe in my mind I should be. And I'm going to share something with you that's going to unlock this and show you why you're not further along than where you should be today. And it's something called the results triangle. Make sure this pen works. I'm going to show you this. This is how it works. Oops. Let me switch pens here. The results triangle, guys. And the first side you're going to have over here is belief. Belief. That's the first side of the triangle. Second side you're going to have is potential. And the third side at the bottom you're going to have, guys, action. This is called the results triangle. You cannot accomplish anything in life, number one, if you do not believe. If you don't believe, you can't accomplish anything in life. It doesn't matter what it might be. I can remember that when I was in the music business, and I got started in the music business in 1998, and I wanted to be a platinum music producer. That is what I wanted to be. And I believed in my heart. I thought I believed in my heart. But I always had that sense of doubt in the back of my mind that I wasn't good enough. And I didn't have to go back to my childhood. When growing up, I was a kid. You know, I was teased in high school. I was kind of put out. I wasn't in the A crowd. You know, I wasn't with the cool folks. I always wanted to fit in. And it's probably a good reason why I grew up in elementary school being an A student. In junior high, I was an A student. And when I got to high school, things changed for me. And I think it had a lot to do with a sense of identity. Since I wasn't part of the quote-unquote cool crowd, I started hanging with the wrong guys. I started getting into trouble. My grades dropped. I started getting suspended from school for acting up. It got so crazy that I was bringing guns to school because I was getting into it with dudes over females. And I was rolling with a couple of dudes who was real, you know, street thugs in high school, slanging dope in high school. And I had no reason to do that because I grew up with my mom and dad, but it wasn't a perfect home, by no means, in their marriage, by no means. But I had everything that I needed provided for me, as material things. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up in a healthy environment for as a marriage, seeing my mom and dad, but I wasn't in a want for anything materially, you know. But when I was growing up in high school, I used to be teased a lot. I played baseball up in high school, but in high school, for some reason, I lost my confidence, and I no longer tried to strive to be the best in baseball anymore. I always wanted to be a professional baseball player. My dad's cousin was a professional baseball player. He was kind of my role model, and I wanted to play professional baseball. I was an all-star all up until my childhood. But once I got out of high school, even I was on the high school baseball team, I didn't try as much anymore. It even got so bad, guys, where I lost confidence in my skill because I was in a junior class and the senior class used to tease me that I intentionally failed the class so that way I didn't have to play. It got so bad with me mentally that I intentionally failed the class so I didn't have to play. So my belief system and me being a professional baseball player disappeared. It vanished because I lost my sense of identity. I forgot who I was. I forgot the dream that I had as a kid when I was growing up, being an all-star player as a kid growing up. But once I got into high school, because my self-esteem was low, I quit believing. Well, the same thing happens in your business today. That if you don't believe you can achieve something, you won't. And a lot of times we say stuff with our lips that, yes, I want to change my life. I want to do this. I believe I can do this. But our actions, as I'm going to touch on shortly, speak otherwise. So the first thing you got to have, guys, in this results triangle is belief. The second thing you got to have, potential. Now, what is potential? This is a word that's thrown out there a lot. Potential. Let me give you a great definition of potential. Potential is not who you are today, but who you want to become. Or not who you are, but what you can become. That's human potential. When I hear potential, for some reason, I think back when I was in basic training in the Air Force. I was 18 years old. I joined the Air Force. And like I said, I was a very smart kid growing up. But my drill instructor in the Air Force used to always get on me. I was like the house mouse, so meaning that I was kind of his assistant. So I was kind of like always, in the good. But same thing, I used to do stuff to get in trouble in basic training. And I can remember, I don't remember this guy's name, but this was 20 years ago, and I was in the Air Force. He told me, he said, Airman Harold, you got so much potential that you could do well here in the Air Force. He said, I see it in you. You got so much potential. So much potential. And for some reason, when I think of potential, I think of what this drill instructor was telling me. Because then I look back on my life, and I heard the same thing once I got to my first base with my supervisor. I was going to school in the Air Force. I was taking care of business, but still, I was still partying and acting a fool, and I was still getting in trouble with the military. And all my supervisors told me the exact same thing. You got so much potential that you could just move up rank fast here and do really well here. First base. Second base, same thing. Supervisor told me the exact same thing. I started getting in trouble there. Getting in trouble with fights and stuff with people there. Getting in trouble with the military there. Same thing my supervisor told me. You got so much potential. You could do so well. Same thing happened in my third base. But what happened? Same thing. I was going to school. I actually finished school while I was in the Air Force. I got a degree while I was in the Air Force. But the same thing. I was partying, wilding out, getting in trouble, smoking weed. Yes, in the military, smoking weed, selling dope. I've been gone a while, so they can't come back and get me now. But yes, hanging with the wrong people in the military. In the Air Force. Air Force is the best branch of all of them. And I'm out there selling weed, smoking weed, hanging with the wrong dudes. That's kind of when I got involved in the music business around that time too, around 98, 99. But eventually led to me getting discharged from the military because we got caught with marijuana on the base, on base housing, where we were living at. Where we turned into a music studio at the same time. But I got a general discharge. And I can remember everybody telling me you had so much potential, so much potential. Look, you finished school, you got so much potential. So potential, when I look back on that, it wasn't who I was at the time, it's what people had envisioned me to be. And what I see, what they saw in me. They saw so much greatness in me because I believe God has created everyone with greatness in them. God has created everyone to be great. That potential is in you. Why? Because God has created you in His image. But most of us fail in doing that. And that brings us to the last point here.